Hi guys, it's time for my May favorites. I'm a little bit late this month because I just haven't had time to film, but there have been plenty of things in May that have been so good, and it was really hard to pick just a few to share with you. So let's get started. So the first thing I've been loving in May are these alpha dies from Pink Fresh Studios. These are the Adore alpha dies, and I do adore them, definitely. These have been out for a while and they're reasonably pricey, so I hadn't jumped on them even though I loved them as soon as I saw them released. But at the start of May, I decided to treat myself and I finally got my hands on them and I love them as much as I thought I would. These dies are a tiny bit different because they cut the inside and an outline at the same time. So let me grab this here. So they've got the inside of the letter and the outline of the letter, which I love for, see if I can line these up to show you, for just creating outlines using different patterns of paper or different colors of paper like this to create something quite special, or you can totally use them separately as well. I've used them on a few projects this month and I adore them. It is a fun coincidence, I guess. I really love them. The only thing I struggle with is these outlines are so tiny and thin. So thin. They've got to be about 1 millimeter thick, and I find them incredibly difficult to glue down. So if anyone has these dies and has any tips for adhering these very thin little outlines, do let me know, please. The next thing I was loving in May is actually a week in the life project. I didn't jump on board when everybody else did theirs along with Ellie Edwards. I don't normally do it the same week as Ellie. I tend to wait a couple of weeks later because my birthday's in May and I like including that in my week in the life album rather than a particularly normal week. I do like a week where there's a little bit more going on and it's not quite as boring an album, but I hadn't actually intended to do one this year at all. So it came as a surprise to me that one Thursday morning I decided to start. I was distracting myself from an appointment at the hospital and decided that now's as good a time as any to start, and I started that day, and I'm really glad that I did. I recorded the process over on my Patreon channel, so my Patreon's got a wee sneak look at the kit that I used to create this book, and I have filmed several process videos. Well, it's going to be one really long one for my patrons as well. As I did several of these pages at my desk, I figured I might as well film them. Some of them I did do in front of the TV, I will admit, and I love the way this worked out. I did it in a pocket page notebook like I did last time I did this project, I think, and I set some really basic rules for myself, followed those as far as photos taking and storytelling went, and I love how this little book turned out. So that is definitely a larger project. It really forced me into a bit more of a photo taking habit, and I am so pleased that I actually did jump on board and do this project this year. So my next favorite for me is very basic, just a roll of washi tape, but this gold foil scallop washi tape from Doodlebug Designs is just one of my favorite washi tapes ever, really. But it's definitely a favorite for me, and I've pretty much used it on just about every project I've done. But I mean, you can see that shine. This is like, when I say gold foil, I mean it's like super gold foil. This is not some dull gold. This is so shiny, so pretty, and I totally loved it in May, and I can't see that stopping, to be fair. As a runner-up though, I did grab, and I haven't pulled these out, sorry, But I did grab a huge pack, this isn't even all of them, of glitter washi tapes from Kmart the other day. I can't put them in my May favorites because there was literally one day of May left when I grabbed these, but so sparkly and so pretty. I think I already had a silver one, but all these other rainbow colors that I got, and I think there might have been 10 in a pack for $3. I mean, that kind of has to go in as a favorite too, doesn't it? My next favorite for May was another project that I worked on. These are clear vinyl shaker envelopes. I first saw them from I Am Absolutely Ellis, and she shared the tutorial that she had followed from Treasure Books here on YouTube. So I will leave a link for that down below in the description box. But these are so fun. I put some new curtains up in May. Finally finished putting new curtains through the house. So I had this clear plastic from the packaging of the curtains, and as soon as I saw it I thought, oh, I can finally make these pouches that Alice had made. And I will say they're a little bit addictive. I started with one and ended up making 3 before I forced myself to stop, but they are so pretty. And what I had done with this larger pouch is I had used it as a sort of cover hold all for my week in the life project. So I made it so that my pocket page notebook fits in there. It fits better when you don't have all the sequins at the bottom, but and when it was less chunky, I will admit. But this is such a cute idea for Happy Mail, or even to make protective covers for your notebooks as you're using them. So thank you, Ellis. Thank you, Treasure Books. A new addiction for me. And last up for May, I would be remiss if I didn't say that my biggest, hugest favorite for May is every single one of my amazing patrons. Having released my Patreon page this month was a very scary experience for me, I will say, but I have received nothing but positive feedback and support, and it has just made my month, made my year really, to be honest. But May has been so fabulous, and all of those amazing patrons are just, they just put a smile on my face every single day. So we actually reached 2 goals in May, much quicker than I had anticipated. So as part of the reward for my second goal, I released this digital kit to all of my patrons and put together this page in my pocket page notebook with a process video over there as well. So if you haven't joined my Patreon page and you've been thinking about it, or you want to, drop by the link in the description box, have a look and see what you think. It really is a fun place, and I am just having so much fun creating content over there. So definitely my patrons, my Patreon page, biggest favorite for me that I could ever have imagined. So that's it, guys. Those are some of my favorites from May. Like I said, there were a lot of things I was loving in May, but these are my top 5 anyway. Let me know what you've been enjoying in May, or what you're looking forward to in June, and I will see you very shortly. Bye, guys.